Welcome to the Reddit Chronicles. Today we will be reading from Today I F'd Up. Our first post is by Happy Twill. Today I F'd up by asking my neighbor to grab my packages. I, 33F, and my husband, 34M, live in a little suburban neighborhood. We got really lucky when it comes to our neighbors. Every so often when we are out of town, or if they are, we will grab each other's deliveries. Sometimes we've even brought back little treats or things from vacation. 10 out of 10 would neighbor again. I will be super sad when we move one day. Now, like your average millennial, I spend probably too much of my disposal income on Amazon. I usually every 2 weeks will make a purchase on stuff I want in the house. I try to line it up with my paychecks so I don't spend too much and go into credit card debt. So on this particular order, I probably had about 10 items. Cotton balls, nail polish remover, some new earrings, etc., etc. But in particular, I saw a really cute cheap set of lingerie that I wanted to buy. I also finally saved up to buy a mini steam cleaner vacuum so I could do some deep cleaning around the house. Now, because I had ordered so many items at once, my items were being delivered on different days. No worries, we have Amazon Prime. I live close to a warehouse. I work from home. We mostly stay home. We got this. Except for, my husband has been dealing with stomach pain on and off for the past 9 months. It has been noticeably really bad for the past 3 to 4 months. He's had the tummy rumbles and stage 4 gurglies for the past few days. His family has a medical history of, politely put, bad guts, which in all honesty is part of why he refused to see a doctor. He blamed it on his bad guts. Now I love my husband to pieces, but the man does not go to the doctor, ever. He also likes to claim he never gets sick. Alas. So Saturday morning rolls around, and he mentions, if my stomach hurts this bad tomorrow, I might want you to take me to urgent care. Alarm bells. My husband never wants to go to a medical facility. He always teledocs. I tell him we're going right now. If he's even considering it, that means it's bad. To be fair, he grew up in a house with parents who were medical professionals. He only goes if he really needs to. He isn't anti-doctor. Roll up to urgent care, and 1 CT scan later, my husband is now being transferred to a hospital for a surgery consult to now possibly get his appendix out as it is infected and inflamed. His surrounding organs are also pretty inflamed and a bit swollen, so it's a tricky situation. We got to urgent care around 11 a.m. At the hospital around 9 p.m. Still waiting. Surgery? No surgery. When are we gonna see the doctor? Etc. It's now Sunday morning, and we're still waiting on a definite answer as to how this is going to go. I get an alert from Amazon in the meantime that my steam cleaner has been delivered. We live in a pretty safe neighborhood, but this was a bit of a purchase and it wasn't put in an Amazon box. I didn't want my steam cleaner to be sitting out in front of the house for someone to come by and swipe it. I quickly message my neighbor, explain what's happening, and she says that it's not a problem, she will get it for me. Thanks neighbor, you the best. After some consults with doctors and surgeons, my husband is now not getting surgery. We learned this weekend that the appendix can apparently disintegrate itself in a situation like this with antibiotics after a long period of getting inflamed and infected. Isn't the human body amazing? We're getting discharged, follow-up appointments, the whole shebang, etc. By the time we finally get home, it's now about 6 p.m. and we are wiped. On the way home, we grabbed meds and groceries so I could make sure my husband was comfy and has good snacks while he recovers. It totally doesn't even dawn on me that my neighbor picked up my package because I am just exhausted. I was up till 1 a.m. the night before in the hospital waiting, plus sleeping on a hospital sofa in the room with the nurses coming in to check on my husband. Yaw girl was spent. So out comes my neighbor, her husband, and her 2 kids, both younger than 13, to give me my packages. That's right, packages, not 1, 2. You know what I didn't get a delivery alert for? That really cute lingerie I bought. You know what was clearly labeled on the outside of the package as it also was not in an Amazon box? That really cute lingerie I bought. You know what was in a semi-transparent bag? That really cute lingerie I bought. The kids were actually the ones who ran next door to grab my deliveries and came in laughing and asking what it meant. After a slightly embarrassing and very funny convo, I get my things, thank them, apologize for scaring her children for life. They laugh and said it was a good chuckle all afternoon. The husband admitted he misunderstood, thought it was a delivery for his wife and a present for him, and then was sad when it turned out to be mine. All in all, kind of the exact laugh we needed after being in the hospital all weekend. The real kicker, the lingerie didn't even fit, and now I gotta return it. Our next post is by Mr. Artless. Today I effed up by choosing Spirit Airlines. Background: I am a member of a Native American tribe, and therefore I get free basic dental and medical care at certain Indian health clinics. I do not have any documentation proving that I am a tribal member, as I lost it years ago, but my dad does, and he is located in San Diego. I have severe gastroesophageal reflux disease, and it does serious damage to my teeth. Brushing and flossing can only do so much to help when constant acid is rising from my esophagus. I don't have insurance and it's not easy for me to get care, so I have kind of just been using daily Tums and hoping for the best. However, a few months ago, all my teeth started falling apart. At least 2 of them have chipped, and I have multiple painful cavities all over my mouth, like more than 10, and my mouth hurts excruciatingly whenever I chew anything. Maybe I need root canals, I don't know. Not wanting to surrender to dentures, 2 months ago, I called the Indian health clinic near my dad, and they said they would accept my dad's tribal membership as proof of my own, and I scheduled the nearest appointment out, which was for this afternoon. The way it works is that if they do an initial examination, and it shows emergency work is needed, they can schedule me to come back in the following days, and I won't have to wait 2 months in between. So I booked a non-refundable hostel for a week and a plane flight for Spirit Airlines to get me there several hours before my appointment. This was the F-up, but it was the cheapest option, and the trip was going to take all of the money I could spare. If I had paid a little more with a different airline or to get there a day early, this wouldn't have happened. I got to the airport at 4 a.m., checked in, and sat at the gate. Right as everyone was preparing to board, the Spirit employee behind the counter at the gate suddenly announced the flight was canceled with no explanation. People were saying it was because the pilot didn't show up, but I have no idea if that's true. After waiting in line to talk to the Spirit employee, they have no flight they can rebook for me until tomorrow, well past my appointment. She told me she could give me a refund on my $120 ticket that I could shop around at other airline counters with, but those tickets were for $500. I decided to get it on credit, but the travel app wouldn't sell it to me because I had another similar trip leaving at around the same time, and when it finally let me confirm I wanted it anyway, it had just sold out while I was booking. The remaining tickets are now $1,200, and I can't afford that. There is no way for me to get to my appointment and save my teeth. By the time I could do this again in several months, it will definitely be too late. TLDR, chose to fly Spirit, and now I lose all my teeth and continue living in agony. Our next post is by Swaggler. Today I effed up by accidentally inviting my boss to my wedding. Well folks, this is an interesting one. Remind me not to take another edible anytime soon. Today, I was talking to my fiancé regarding our guest list for our wedding. It's over a year away still, but we are trying to figure out if we need to cut anyone from the final head count. Our count started tallying up really quickly, and we have agreed that we really needed to start limiting our invites. For those that are definitely invited, I started sending some links via text to our Zola page so we can get their addresses and basic info for save the dates. I texted my friend, we'll call him James, a link to fill the form out. A minute later I check and see I have a notification back from him. I check my text, but something seemed just a little off. Oh yeah, it's because I texted my boss also named James the link. As soon as I realize my F-up, I quickly ask my fiancé how I should fix this and note that it was a mistake of some sort. Well, before I can even think of a reply, he texts back very enthusiastically, saying thank you and updating me on a new address he is going to have. Now my fiancé is saying to just not to mention it again, but I've got tons of scenarios of how this could get even worse going through my head. What if he mentions the wedding invite to my other coworkers? How could I possibly say it was a mistake without it being super awkward? What if he mentions it again, multiple times in the future? I feel like this is straight out of a sitcom. Thank you for listening to the Reddit Chronicles. Follow for more content.